how you ended up there was really cool.
Yeah, it really works well.
Yeah, I think so too.
And how long have you been in the house?
A week. It's been good. It's been really interesting to actually finally get to live in what we draw for 4 years.
And what was some of the good experience? Like, what is like the highlight of the?
One thing that really sort of struck me by surprise is that we've been working a lot with positioning the windows according to the right draft. And as an architect, it's not what you're trained to think of. It's more like an engineering thing.
Yeah.
But to wake up and then have the windows open and then feel the draft where you're in a room that was a little bit too hot, it was like, okay, this really works.
It's just something that we do in design theoretically, and then it's nice to see that now we really know it works.
Exactly.
It was a complex corner to solve, no?
So nice to have this.
For now, we were always working in theory, and now with this experience, we really know that having these proportions and doing this level of daylight and ventilation, it works very well in all levels, and it brings this extra quality of the indoor health.
It's actually kind of interesting to live with a house that lives with you and not that you just live in. From the moment you wake up upstairs and you look up to the sky, and then you go down and you can just see the sunlight following the path that we were sort of taking was really, really cool. At the end of the afternoon, I was sitting in the alcove, and at the beginning of the day, I was sitting in the sofa. I was just following the light. It's like, it was just really cool, actually. But I think mostly it was the idea that even though there was so much daylight, it was never overheated. So it was really like being outside, but I was sitting inside. We've been doing these millions of simulations for how to get the good indoor climate.
Yeah, exactly.
And basically this house does it for you. It was so cool to experience that when we are 4 people, all of a sudden in the living room, it starts to adapt to that. Then it opens the window to get air in. And I think it really sort of struck me, we don't do enough airing out in our existing home. Like, we really learned how much it's needed. The house actually tells you, I know a little bit better than you do, and you need this right now, which is really cool. I have asthma, and I think I can totally feel that also. I'm not waking up in the same sort of dry cough. But I think it's the learning experience and living with it that really gets you to appreciate how important indoor air quality is.
And it's part of this process now of re-educating how we live in a healthy home.
One of the basic things that we always say is that this biophilic principles that nature and natural materials actually are healthy for us. I think having experienced it firsthand it's been really cool, because I can definitely feel it, that's for sure.
So I think one of the learnings and ways to scale it up will be to always work with daylight, how we can also improve the ventilation, ensure that there is a cross ventilation process or some ways that the air is fresh inside the house. And at the end, what we were mentioning, having views to natural materials and nature itself. Using these principles is also not good only for people, but it's also good for the planet, because bringing more biogenic materials will reduce LCA, bringing more nature will also support more biodiversity. So in a way, it's a win-win situation.
I think the experience I've taken away from living here for a week has been that good design can actually make you rethink the way you want to live. And I think that's done that for us, at least.